Peace and love, family. Welcome to another Supreme Numerics offering brought to you by Mr. Westbrook's class right here on YouTube. And this video is the November 2025 Numerology Message for the collective. And that message is to move from self first to selfless, both physically and spiritually. Last month, we experienced heavy number one energy where the objective was to put the self, the individual first, and pursue our individual ambitions with drive, passion, and creativity. This month, we're shifting from an emphasis on the self to an emphasis on the collective and togetherness. We always need unity in one another, but it's all the more important in this 11th month and number 2 universal month. When I say 11th month, I'm referring to November being the 11th calendar month and 2 being the universal month. When we add up the universal year 2025, which adds up to a 9, and adding that to the 11th calendar month, and that adds up to an 11 as a double digit and number 2 as a single digit. The number 11 for both the calendar month and the universal month calls for us to express compassion and understanding towards one another at a higher level, especially when this current political climate and election season is pushing us to be divided. Avoid buying into that divisive and deceptive propaganda by applying patience, understanding, and compassion instead. 11 adds up to the number 2 as a single digit, which is all about being diplomatic, receptive, cooperative, and team-oriented. Now, when we consider the expression of the word November, which is the sum total of all the letters in that word, it equals to a number 36 in the Chaldean system and the number 40 in the Pythagorean system of numerology. The message of selflessness is reinforced here as 36 is a universally giving, compassionate, and charity number, and the number 40 is selfless and gives to others as well. Aside from the existing challenges stemming from politics and the current state of the economy, November marks the start of the holiday season with Thanksgiving. With the challenges we're facing collectively around the world and around this country, we need each other during this holiday. We need to be kind to one another, and we need to help each other out during this time, regardless of whether we celebrate or think we should or should not celebrate Thanksgiving. We should be there for one another. Rising food prices, benefits being threatened. It's very important that we help each other out and look out for each other. Now, that's togetherness on the physical level. November is also an opportune time to connect and harness our collective spiritual energy, as this month is a highly spiritual month due to the 11th calendar and universal month, and the number 11 representing a spiritual portal and spiritual awakening. That energy is even more so intensified on November 11th on what we call the 1111 portal, a time for personal transformation, manifestation, and deep spiritual connection. There's power in performing rituals individually during this portal, but imagine how greater that power is when a group of us is on one accord, harnessing this energy. If the quote unquote elites and those who attempt to run and control the world are harvesting our energy for their own nefarious objectives, why can't we work together and use this energy for good? So that's the message for November 2025. As always, I have a few journal reflection questions for you to meditate on and write about. The first question is, what can I do for the greater good of humanity this month? The next question is, what are my intentions and desired outcomes for this month and next year? And lastly, what am I grateful for? And for that last question, dealing with gratitude, I have a couple of recommendations to help you get started. The first is a guided journal that I've been working out of currently. I got this back in the summertime, I think back in July during an event hosted by the Source of Knowledge community block party event. Shout out to Dr. Andrea Blake Garrett. She is the author of this guided gratitude journal called Gratitude Every Day. It is a gratitude journal for the year. There's a prompt for every day of the year, and this is volume 1 of 2. This is a great resource to help you think of ideas of what you can express gratitude for. And the other one I filled out last year. This one is called The Key to Happiness, Gratitude Consciousness by Project 369. Another great book on gratitude and guided journal that has, prompts and quotes to help you get the juices flowing and think of some ideas of what you can express gratitude to and for. So you can check those out if you need some help getting started on that gratitude journey. But that is the November 2025 numerology message for the collective. Let's make it a great, productive, fulfilling, joyful month. And as we're assisting and supporting one another, let's continue to strive to become the best versions of ourselves. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.